Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm going to be covering a video by the channel Effective Purpose. Overall, I do like this channel, but in this video, the guy who leads the channel, he makes a video about why should Christian guys still date in the hellscape of 2025. And overall, I think there's some good points in the video, but I think it really crumbles when he gets into the arguments for why you shouldn't get your passport and go overseas for dating as a Christian guy. And I think his arguments are really poor. If he does have good arguments, he should come back with those or not talk about the issue in this way, because he's actually misleading men away from what could be their best option at success, Christian men, for marriage and family. So I'm going to get into the video here. I do videos on, going overseas, creating a new life path for yourself, finding, even relationships overseas. If you're interested in that, hit the subscribe button down below, and let's keep the conversation going in the comments section. Okay, let me get to the argument part here. You can watch the whole video. I'll link it in the description. It's about 19-20 minutes, and he starts getting to his argument against why guys shouldn't go overseas for dating, Christian men specifically. So let's get into his points here.
Good things you know you should, that is still a sin. Now I'm sure at this point, somebody in the comments has already typed, yeah, but what about the girls? How come they never have to do anything? How come we always have to do the work? How come we always have to reconcile, forgive, and let it go? And what's funny is, I would actually agree. It shouldn't be all on your shoulders. But there's one very simple reason why I never talk to the girls. They don't watch this channel. Anything.
This is true. Channels where men just yell into the ether, hoping that women will change their behavior. It's never going to happen. They're doing it for clicks. They're doing it for attention. So I don't mind channels that just target men. My channel is not for women at all. It's not that I don't care for their well-being. I do, just my message is not relevant to them. So I'm talking to men, Christian traditional men specifically. That's what it's targeted for. That's what my solutions actually make sense for.
Thing I say to them is kind of a waste of breath. It's not going to change anything. If anything's going to change, it has to be us. Now, I know there will be other guys in the comments who'll say, yes, absolutely yes to all of this, just not Western women. Grab your passport, boys, and go get a woman from literally anywhere else.
Okay, so now he's going to dive into his arguments against this. This gets really dicey here. And look at the derision he already has towards the idea. America is falling apart in terms of dating, relationships, having enough children to replace our population. We should be evaluating all possible solutions for this. But for some reason, in Christian circles, this specific option is a no-no. Why? Well, we're going to hear his reasoning.
Now, this will need its own video at some point, but
okay, he hasn't made one yet. Waiting for it.
For now, there are three problems with that. For one, things will still get worse here if you do that, right? If you turn your back on these women, they will continue.
I like this. So this argument is, oh, if you just turn your back on these women here, things will get worse here. So if the Christian guys who can't find their way in this dating realm in the West, if they just don't have families and children at all, things will get better here instead. I mean, what is the argument? Basically, all the argument would have to be is, for the guys who are not making it in the dating market, or they don't fit in this dating market, they just need to magically now find a magical way to make it work for them. That's not a solution. I mean, why do you think no one listens to the Christian leadership when it comes to this stuff? Because no one has real solutions in this realm, except for a few of us out there. Everyone else is just repeating your problem back at you. It's like, oh, dating's hard. We'll just make it less hard. Great, thanks. Way to help the guys out there. Good job.
You need to spread and gain influence until you have nowhere else to go. Two, it's not as necessary as you think.
So the title of the video is, or he has other videos about why it's impossible to date in the West. And it's hard for a lot of men, but it's not necessary either to go overseas, right? You're just going to come up with a magical solution.
Influence until you have nowhere else to go. Two, it's not as necessary as you think. Truly masculine men can turn even the most feminist of women.
So I love this. Look at the short he put in here. He says, the feminism leaving my body when the morally gray character says you're mine. This has nothing to do with Christianity. This is just a funny short he found. The programming in some of the women today cannot be undone. It cannot be undone. They will not change. There's women who are in their 40s and 50s who are still single that bought into the feminist propaganda from 30 years ago. And that's that. You can't just change minds. It's this idea, and it's kind of a uniquely American classical liberal idea that when people are just finally presented with the right information and good arguments, they automatically change their mind. They automatically resort to making the best decisions. No, as I always say, people are irrational. People are more likely to be prideful and hold on to what they've been taught earlier in life that they've committed to than changed based on new information, right? This is what people are more likely to do.
Truly masculine men can turn even the most feminist of women feminine.
Well, it's not happening. I mean, where is this happening? Where are the truly the truly masculine men are shoved aside because you're too mean, you're too misogynistic, your beliefs are too bad for you, hate women, quote unquote, and you don't get a shot in the dating market no matter what your value is. That's the reality. I don't know where he sees this happening. I mean, do you have an example for us?
So you don't need it as much as you think you do.
Oh, okay, you don't need it as much as you think you do, right? I mean, there's no argument here. He's just purely making stuff up.
If you become the right kind of man. And
okay, note this, listen to this, and this is gonna matter here later.
So you don't need it as much as you think you do if you become the right kind of.
Okay, if you become the right kind of man, you can turn the feminist women in the West to traditional. Okay, if you become the right kind of man. But now listen for the reasoning why you shouldn't get a wife overseas. Listen to this next point. This is very important.
Man. And 3, it's not as safe as you think it is either. Yes, traditionally feminine women will treat men better, and you'll...
So already they'll treat men better, but that's not a good reason.
You'll find more of them in...
You'll find more of them. So there's a problem. There's a shortage of traditional men or traditional women for these Christian men. So overseas, there's a larger supply. They'll treat you better, but don't date there. Like, what is he saying?
Yes, traditionally feminine women will treat men better, and you'll find more of them in other countries. But those women also expect men to be traditionally masculine.
Wait a minute. So if they expect men to be traditional masculine, and that's what you should become to turn the feminist women in America into traditional women, why can't you become traditionally masculine for the women overseas?
And strong. If you import a woman from somewhere else and you don't
import this language, the derision this guy has,
don't have plans to become the kind of man she's expecting.
Wait, but isn't that what you were saying men should do anyways for the women in the West? But now you're saying, oh no, sorry guys, you actually can't become masculine enough. He doesn't believe in you guys enough to become the masculine man, but he thinks you can become the masculine man here for the women here, but you can't do it well enough for the ones overseas. This is the most ridiculous, absurd argument I've ever heard. This is not even there's good arguments you can make, because this is not one of them.
Then you've only temporarily dodged the problem. And however you slice this, it's still Jonah-esque thinking.
Oh, okay. Now he's just going to shame you for wanting to do it.
We're ignoring the problems instead of solving them. So
sometimes, well, and here's the other thing. We've been beating our head against the wall, trying to solve this problem one way for like 50, 60 years, and it just continues to get worse. Do you think maybe we should try a different solution? You think maybe we should try other things? What you have to do is you have to change the incentive structures in America. And I don't know of a better way to do this. Okay, this is just my theory, but what we're doing now is not working. So my theory is that if you change the incentive structures for how the competitiveness in the dating market works and operates, because all you're telling the men here is that you all need to essentially be in a race to the bottom to who can outcompete themselves for masculinity for women who aren't that feminine. All that teaches the women is that they don't have to do anything. The men will just level up on their own, and they can get an even higher quality man without lifting a finger. What if you think over time, the median woman who's not that feminine starts to see that men take women or find women from other areas, bring them to the country, or maybe even stay there, and they're willing to do that. And now these women recognize that they have to compete with a global dating marketplace. You think that's a better incentive structure than, the masculine men, where all the societal structures are working against them, are going to magically convince these women to become more feminine? No, people respond to incentive structures. So if you create a new incentive structure, a new paradigm where women now have to compete against the femininity of men overseas, that will change their behavior. Okay, this is just like basic 101 incentive structures that I'm sorry, brother, you don't understand.
So yes, guys, I know Western women's standards are delusionally high.
Delusionally high. But keep banging your head against the wall anyways. Great advice.
Yes, they've taken advantage of their cultural authority and treated
structural, the structural issues of society. Thank you.
Men poorly. Yes, the current dating and marriage meta isn't just difficult, it's broken.
It's broken. It's broken, but you should beat your head against the wall anyways. And don't try the solutions.
And these problems are difficult to solve, but they're not impossible.
Oh, but because I don't think it's impossible, then you guys should maybe even waste your opportunity trying to fix it. I mean, this advice is horrible, right? I said in my live stream that we need solutions for men now. Not we're going to fix the broken system and in 20 years maybe it's better. Okay, that's not solutions for now, and this is why people don't listen to you. Because, like I said, the red pill dudes who are degenerate, at least they have solutions. They're bad solutions, but they have solutions. I have a solution. For some men, I think it's a good solution. Yours is not a solution. Yours is we need to try harder. Well, we've been trying harder for a long time. It's not working because of different structural reasons. There are reasons why we're not going to be able to undo some of the damage in this way.
And that's the main piece of enemy propaganda that we have to break through. And of course, there are high costs. You have to work hard, stay humble, stay curious, question your frustrated thoughts, set aside your feelings, and follow the commands of your king instead of your desire for comfort. That's hard. But this
and then he's just going to try and like morally guilt you into this is really what you need to do. I think it's kind of, look, this guy seems like a good guy. Seems like a brother in Christ, but this is a very dishonest argument, not well thought out in any degree.
This is war. War is hard. It's hard, but every small victory for God's kingdom. My
solution would do more to fix the problem at home than anything you suggested. That's all I'm saying there. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up that video there. You can watch this entire video. I just want to go over that 2-minute segment where these arguments are very good. I would be happy to openly debate this with anyone in this Christian red pill space. I would be happy to debate this guy on this topic, and I think some good would come of that. So let me know the video down below. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Anyways, I will see you guys next time.